Good afternoon, everyone. Once again, this is the second day for our recap session. And this afternoon, we have Dr. Pascal Brenya, who is a seasoned youth leadership coach and has been with the ROC for so many years now. He will play multiple roles as a facilitator, coach, and also be with you throughout the whole program. So without much ado, I would like to give the opportunity to Dr. Pascal to actually introduce his session and then also take it over from here. Dr. Pascal, over to you.
Thank you very much, Jasper. Good afternoon to everyone. It's still afternoon, I believe, wherever you find yourself. Just that it probably could be a morning for some people not in our continent. But I'm delighted to meet you once again. And today our major concentration is on two elements: the poster presentation and also simulation. We're going to have a discussions, and I'll give you a very important dates on today's. So once again, on behalf of the RSC and on behalf of the director, Dr. SCC, and then Jasper, who just handed over, and the team at the RSC, I would like to welcome you all for this afternoon session. It would be important if you have a pen and paper to write a few things down, because some dates will be given and you need your calendars handy as well. And I just want to welcome you. So thank you, and once again, welcome you. To start off, I just want to start with a very simple and straightforward opening statement. You've taken the trouble to be here because you need in your own personal life to be somewhere that is bigger and greater than where you are today. We learn every day. So I strongly believe on these simple words, that when you are passionate about something and you so much love to do it and you don't have what it takes, then you need to sit and ask yourself, what can I do? That can probably be your motivation for signing in to be part of this cohort 42. You are welcome. You are at the right place. We'll share a lot of ideas. And I strongly believe by the time you go through your various tracks and all the other programs, you definitely won't be the same. And that is a promise that I guarantee. Sometimes some of the things that you go through might not make immediate sense to you, but trust me, it won't be too long. You will figure it out. And sometimes you wouldn't even remember where you learned it from. And that will be very handy. So once again, you are welcome. Let me start with the presentation on simulation quickly. Simulation, I'll give a gist, and we'll come to that after I finish the poster presentation. Over the years, simulation is a topic that we hand over to participants, and they do justice to it. Sometimes it comes part will be a drama and part will be a presentation. By the way, simulation just says it all. So if a question is put across, you and your team, wonderful team, you and your team will have opportunity to research and over research on that particular topic, and then make a solid presentation. And because most cases you'll be assigned to your various countries, then you need to do a research on the country that you represent. I'm saying represent because you might not necessarily be assigned to the country where you belong to. But it will really worth it. Why? Because sometimes you could be in Ghana, you could be in the Gambia, you could be in Nigeria, Togo, Benin, wherever you find yourself, but we know less about ourselves. So this gives you opportunity for us to learn among ourselves and get to know what really takes place in this west coast of Africa. And it's also very necessary that you work with a team that doesn't speak like you, that doesn't talk like you, doesn't even sometimes behave like you, doesn't reason like you. And those kind of complexity is what builds you to be a great Yalian when it's all over and it's said and it's done. So that is the kind of process you go through. And I can bet you, you can start thinking about it when people can disagree with you. Everything that you think is a worthwhile, people can shoot it down. And sometimes they wouldn't even give you alternatives. It's part of the process. And I believe that looking at some of your backgrounds, most of you probably are managers, you're CEOs of companies. Some are really in the market already. Some are struggling to get into the market. Some have tried it, it didn't work. Some are actually in a corporate environment and you are tired and sick of every day reporting to work. And when there's time for you to go home, that you can't go home, you still have to wait for the clock to tickle before you walked out. Now, you, wherever you find yourself, this is the day and this is the moment for you actually here. So stimulation will try you at all levels, and then it will be able to push you to the extent. I'll come to conclude on the simulation. I use this as a teaser, but I would like to go into the poster presentation, which is something I'm looking forward to, and I believe you're also looking forward to that. Your chat room is available. So in the process of my delivery, if you want me to highlight on something, you disagree on something, you can put it there quickly. I'll pick it up, I'll read it, and then I'll go on with that. But before I start with the poster presentation, if where you are is possible, I would like you to stretch your two hands forward for me. So stretch your two hands forward for me. Your cameras can be off, it's fine. If you want to put it on and it's not distractive, it can be on. So two hands forward for me, I like that. Okay, it's like you are bossing, right? Good, I like that. And then cross your hand on your shoulders for me. Cross your hands on your shoulders. Put it, cross it over. Is it crossed over? I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. Now, take it and don't use the same way that you folded your arms. I want you to change it. So the usual way, you go with how you always do it. This time around, I would like you to change it the way you do it and do it opposite round. How do you feel? Some of you are struggling. You are going back onto the old one. How do you feel? Now, this is where change matters. We are very comfortable with the way we do things, and we have done it over the years. We will do it without even thinking. But when I only ask you to change how you have been doing it, some couldn't even know how to position their hands. They were struggling. Change is a must. It's only when it happens that you realize it's a change. And we all have to change at one point or the other. We'll do another activity, but we want to go on onto our presentation. We want to go on into our presentation. So let me start off and quickly take you through the poster presentation, which I'm very curious about it. I want to know what it's about and all that. And for this, I would like to kindly share my screen with you, and then I'll pick up that presentation. And I believe that you can see it. Just want to make sure it is positioned very well and it can be seen. Okay. I would like it to be a little bigger than it is because it's not as big as it is. Let me see if I go to the presentation mode. Yeah.
Just put it on the presentation mode. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
I've done that now. Okay.
It's okay.
Thank you. Thank you. So what you see here is a poster presentation. And before the presentation, there has to be a preparation. And this is where I encourage everyone who have not spoken before in the midst of other people to get involved. You'll be working with fantastic people with sharp brains. Some would like to talk when you have not asked them. Others, if you don't encourage them, they will not speak. The spirit of teamwork is so important. And many times, this particular kind of situation will require a leader. And in selecting a leader, just remember, it's not anybody who volunteered to be a leader who has to be chosen. It's not someone who sometimes is too loud is supposed to be the one chosen. You need to be critical who you select as a leader, because as the leader gives up, the rest of the motivation can go down. And for that reason, who you select as a leader and the assistant have to be up and doing, sacrifice a lot without even expecting any benefit. Be able to convince everybody and bring everybody to the table And when there's disagreement, settle this disagreement with effortlessly. That's the word. That is the kind of a leader you need to be able to select. I believe all of you are leaders, but this is where a leader emerges among the leaders. And for that reason, it helps for you to prepare, because the preparation is critical before the presentations. And I can bet you as we go through. The first is a concern. So what are we talking about here? What is a poster presentation? What is it that we are talking about? Now, the poster presentation comes in a form where you are allowed to explore on your own and come out with a burning issue on this continent. Now, we live in a continent that sometimes and many times, I believe, most of us feel that this is not where we belong. Some of us feel so disappointed in our leadership, and we talk, we complain. Of course, we have legitimate right to do so, because we could have done better over the years than we have all done, all the countries put together. I agree, but this is where we explore the problems, the issues that confront this continent, and for that matter, the country on this continent. And you picked up one of these relevance, and then you'll be able to explore it. As I go on, you probably will know. So if you look at the guidelines that really underpin this particular poster presentation, we are talking about, number one, you identify and explore community problem of your choice. Now, this is the choice of the team, the group. You will be assigned to a team. That one will be given to you. You all will know the team that you belong to. And these two critical themes, and I don't want to confuse you, but two themes. One of the themes will be for poster presentation, and the other team will be for simulation. I suggest I told you about the simulation, but we'll get back to that. But now we are on the poster presentations. So number one, that is it. Of your choice, the team choice, and you prepare a poster presentation of the issues. This is where you only prepare adequately when you have assigned duties and roles to the individuals in the theme to do a thorough research. And sometimes research and the finding of this research have to be debated, because many times, even on this continent, it's very difficult to tell the number of people who live in a particular country on this continent, unless you have to go back into other foreign groups who will confirm the number for us. Now, that tells you that even in your research and your reportage, and sometimes judges might ask you to give evidence where this particular statement is coming from. So you need to really make sure that adequately you prepare. And your preparation and research have to be over research and also look over, so that at least if there's any kind of issue that doesn't link, you'll be able to debate it and then agree on one, and you can be convinced enough to defend it if the question comes up. Number two, you look at what we refer to as the community problem that we have mentioned. It could simply be a contemporary issue or an observation. So what is it that bothers you? I love to have individuals coming to this table when the discussion starts, bringing one particular issue, even from today. You have a timeline to do this, but think of an issue that confronts you. Is there an issue of interest that you want to research and you want to be able to find solution to? And the third one says that the preparation and the presentation might be extremely less of wording. What that implies is that you're going to do less of wording, but more pictorial. That is the word poster presentation. Now, the fourth point talks about the pictorial flow. It has to start with where the problem starts. It has to be processed to go through to come up with a fantastic state-of-the-art solution. And this is great, because if you're able to do that, then it means that you have thought through, reasoned, argue it, debate it, and then you have firm it, and you know this, nowhere on this world could somebody provide or prefer a solution than you have as a group. So that is an amazing, so that is exactly one. So it might be neat, all right, and outrightly communicate the team at the first glance. So if I look at it, I need to know exactly what you're talking about. And that is the point that is highlighted over here. Okay. Let me move on slowly. I know that you have questions and you would like to ask. That is fine, because that is the reason why I'm here. Now, you have to produce a one-page concept note of your poster work. It means that whatever you present on a PowerPoint, or if you want to use infographic, whatever you present would be a pictorial. But you want to say more words that you were able to do when the pictures are talking. And for that matter, you are given opportunity to do a summary of your concept note, which is a page, one page concept note. And this is really very beautiful because it then really gives the concept behind what you have put together. But remember, what you have put together have to make sense. Anybody who look at it need to understand exactly what you have put together. All right. And then the group is also to create a 1-minute poster presentation video. Now, let me take a bit of time to explain this point. Your poster presentation, which is the picture, if it is an infographic or a PowerPoint, will be still, if you want it, on the screen. And then the presenter that you select as a group will be presenting, and at the same time behind, we could see the poster presentation. And then the person then take us through step by step what exactly your team, right, the effects, the interventions, and then also the outcome. Everything will be spelled out in that process as the person present. So it's within a minute. And that therefore requires you to choose someone who knows what he's doing and be able to really get the message across. Everybody in the team is relevant. And you all take the credit and otherwise. And for that reason, you need to get everybody working together, but we need to agree so that we get someone to present. No, you can even have 2 people to present. It is fair, depending on you as a group. So you choose, and that 1-minute poster presentation sums up exactly what your poster is about. Some of the errors over the years is that sometimes people will do the video of themselves and forget to show us what the poster presentation is. Sometimes it could be just audio without even the person showing their face. Now, sometimes there will be even nothing at all. And sometimes as a group, when you are not able to meet your deadline and you rush in sending, you probably send something else apart from the video and other things that is required of you. Here, the IT department will give you the video size, though we restrict you to 1 minute, but that does not give us the volume that goes into it in terms of the size. So I believe that the size, you will get to know the size so that your video can easily be opened, and then it could really get onto the point speech, and then we'll be able to really award you the marks that you deserve as a group. Okay, so that is it. So this is the flow that goes on. So if you look at the flow, beautiful one, you identify the problem, and that is the team. What are the causes of this problem? What are the effects of this problem? What intervention do we want to prefer? Have we identified in the intervention that we really want to say, okay, good, this is it? And then if we're able to provide these interventions, this solution, what is the expected outcome? I like that. And then I think Alaji, right? Alaji Bar. I like how Alaji Bar is seriously writing and reasoning. Thank you, Alaji. Keep on writing. It's good. Yeah. So if you look at the flow, it tells you that this requires a bit of thinking. You probably have to sample everybody. Now the group, probably the size will be 8, or the group could extend up to 12 or 15. Now, if you have about 6 or 8 group members, each person bringing on the table one problem, you need to be able to look at the problems and sometimes put some of them right on the parking lot, and then get on to the ones that you really want to consider on. And the reason is that you want a better outcome. You know the proper interventions, you know the effects of this problem, and you know the causes as well. as a continent, if we cannot identify what bothers us most, we will not be able to even solve it. So poster presentation gives us that magic hand and mind to be able to identify our problems. And then sometimes instead of complaining, providing a solution that has never been thought about by any other except a scholar of Yali cohort 42. So this is how it runs through. So I hope it is still making sense. There are ground rules, and these ground rules are ground rules that I will take you through briefly, so that at least you are also very much aware on how these ground rules runs. And that is to say, please note that all group members must participate in this session. It's a must. If you are chosen as a leader and there's someone who does not participate at all, somebody who give you an average participation, we will give you the opportunity to rate people. Every single person must participate. And for that matter, as a leader and the assistant, you yourself, having fully participated, should be able to assign who participated fully and who did not at all and who averagely participated. This continent doesn't need average people. We are tired. We need people who are more serious. So that is exactly what you sign up for cohort 42. And I believe every single person who have signed up, like regardless of your status, your stature, you are going to fully commit time to be able to do this. And for that matter, the leaders need to do that. Now, because I've been through this and I've observed it over the years, there has been cases when people say, well, there's this particular person from this country who did not take part at all. And me as a leader didn't want to include the person, but they told me that that is mean. And for that meeting, I actually have to include them. Now, I think that is evil. You can't do that. When an assignment is given and somebody does not participate, when somebody don't come to work and you write the person's name, or you go to work early and then you actually write the person's time of arrival when the person have not arrived, it is not only evil, it's criminal. You can't do that. So I hope we're learning from this to make sure that once you are assigned to a group, you are entirely responsible to be part of the team, period. No compromises, no responsiveness of any team member shall attract the question of reward. It will not correspond to a reward. So it means that you're either in it or you're out of it. Now, once you are in it, you are in it in full. And in the team dynamics, your view might not be accepted. Yes, it can be shut down. Yes, but look, don't give up. Both the leader and yourself, don't quail. Be part of the team because it's your responsibility if it goes well or not. Kindly indicate your group numbers somewhere in the work, as well as the list of responsible members and beneath the consent note. One of the things that we even allow you to do is that once you have your poster presentation one, the second presentation, which is the second slide. So I'm talking about two slides over here. The first slide has your poster presentation as I have explained. The second one will just have a stamp size picture of each person. It's nicely done. And then you put the person's country and the person's name wonderfully. And these are the people who have helped you to put all these together. So just to take note, first slide will look at your work. Second slide, a stamp size picture of every person in the team, and then their name and possibly a small stamp on the side of their country flag. It makes it beautiful. And then you can write your group name on top of it as a wonderful group. All right. Okay, good one. Now, there are a few things to note over here. And I think I just love that. You know, it is a really something that it worth us looking at. Okay. And we call it the deadlines are closer than they appeared. So I think going through this will be quite easy for you to really do that. And this is very important. So your preparation and submission, and this is really critical. Now, everything starts from 27th, which is a Monday, and then you finish off on 31st of March, 2023. This is really spot on. Simply, it says that you don't have much time. Don't wait until last minute. Start putting things together. And as soon as you see your team members start grouping together, start calling each other. Finding a convenient time can sometimes be difficult and tricky, but that is how we do business. That's how businesses run to change this continent. Yes, getting people to agree on one thing will also be very tricky. Yes, but that is how it's supposed to happen because we are different. And for that matter, being able to build that cohesiveness will bring a success to your teamwork at the end. So the time is given, the date is given, and it says here, there are a few examples we would like to share with you. And these examples should not influence the way you do yours, because we want you to be original. Your team should and must be original. Your presentation should be of a star. This is so much of a great that it will wow everybody that this is what the continent needs. Nothing average. Okay. Now, just to let you know, the examples, as I said, it's just examples and it doesn't necessarily have to be yours to take. What is the theme for these people's example? Poor education and consequences of corruption. Think all the country in Africa. When you take something that belongs to someone else without a person's permission, it's called stealing. But many times people say, I didn't even know. When people give you something as influence before you do what you have to do, there's corruption. People say, well, I didn't look at it that way. I thought it was just a gift. Now, this is a chosen topic. If you look at these people very carefully, and it ran through from one end to another. Okay, so if you look at it, it takes on from the team, and they move on looking at the effect. They look at the interventions, and then they come up with what we call the outcome. It is represented and is very beautiful. If you look at it, you just look at the picture right away, you read a few captions, and then you can grasp it. But I must tell you, if I'm a part of the assessors, I'll probably say that there's too much writing on this one as well. And sometimes it probably, if you don't have a good eyes, you can't even read the fine prints. And that is why we put a warning on it that this is not perfecto. You got to come up for originality and then do yours to be better than this one. Okay, so that is just to know. We move on to another interesting one. Okay, and this is also another example. Right away, looking at the picture with that, even reading, you can tell that this has to do with the fish in the sea. This has to do with plastics. What are we talking about? And then we are also talking about the problem as it emerges. And then all said and done, if we're able to do it right, what are we ensuring? We're going to ensure that things are free and things, habitats, the fishes will be able to feed on proper food, but not plastics, who actually make them full up because they have a very tiny stomach. And when that happens, their stomach is so full with plastic and it's not nutritious. So they die. And that definitely is not something that we want to see on this continent. And we leave this for the future generation. Of course, we got to do something about it. So that is a wonderful presentation as it goes round and it comes up to what is so very necessary and important as well. There's another one. Okay, so you look at the picture. Right away, the problem, you see somebody trying to get water and water is not coming out, or water is coming out very little. And then you also see that people are defecating everywhere, anywhere, with that mining and caring, things are happening, all that goes on. And the causes are all depicted over here. And the effects, of course, is more deadly. But what intervention are you going to provide? And if you are so able to do that, what will be the joy in people's life? That is exactly what you see over here. This one have less wording, okay, but is the picture arranged rightly? Maybe, maybe not. Could they have done better? Of course, yes. Of course, yes. And remember, some of the judges will be very, very hard judges and not very easy to please. So it means you need to do extra work to provide extra funding. So once again, it's not perfect enough. I could even criticize it with you. I think some of you have already criticized it and says that why is the effect in the middle? Is that where they should have positioned it? With a simple infographic, you could have done this and you could have lined it up, and then we could see more picture of a joy. Now we're not seeing, where's the joy picture? Okay, there's a water flowing somewhere and the child is drinking and he's very happy and excited. Maybe that answers it. I don't know about you, but different opinions and how we express it. So look at the expression of what you have in front of you now. Corruption in Africa. And then you see the solution is there. The intervention is there. The causes are there. Don't forget the flow as I showed to you, right? And if we're able to do it all right, then what do we ensure? Better continent, greater Africa. But what is the solution? How do we go about it? That is really wonderful. Another example. So example upon example. I like the presentation on this. You know, I was sharing with you about how this can be presented without a problem. All right. And this is it. Okay. So again, is it the best way? This is one of the participants who was presenting, and then the presentation is on site. I think you need to be quite good infographic wise. You need to be very good. The use of video, you need to be very good to be able to really seriously look at these things, and before you can actually say this is good. You know, I'm not sure who is the one putting the red marks everywhere. Is that a sign, or I don't know what it means? You're trying to mark it. Please don't do the marking for us. Do it when you do your own work, then you can mark it. Stop putting the red inside it for us. Yeah, that is needless. Okay. So just look at it. Yours should be better than this one. Yeah, and you leave the marking for the judges who assess the other one to do that. Okay, that's fine. Thank you. So this is just how it is. I'll try and see if it will come. Let me hold it a bit. Can you hear the sound? Did you hear the sound? So one person can talk.
Yes.
No sound.
No sound.
Yeah.
As I click on it again.
I should click on it again, and then because what happened is that I did not choose the sound, so I can go back and come back again.
Click on it again and see.
Are you hearing the sound?
No sound.
Yes.
No
sound.
No sound. Some of you are some of you are hearing sound, some of you are not hearing sound.
No, maybe she's trying to say she's hearing you, but not the video. No sound from the video.
Thank you very much. I know what to do now. So let me just do that, and I'll take it and click on the sound bite. So I will come out and I'll come back in again. All right. Thank you very much. Okay. Awesome. This is going to be nice. Hopefully you should hear a sound by now. Okay, let me try and take it back to the root. Okay.
I am Jean, and I will be presenting.
Did you hear Jane talking?
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yes, it's clear.
We didn't hear what you said, but it's fine. I'll open up for questions and answers. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I am Jean, and I will be presenting on the topic of climate change in Africa for Group 24. Climate change is a long-term modification of the Earth's climate as a result of changes in the atmosphere caused by solar fluctuations, volcanic eruptions, burning of fossil fuels, deforestation, and livestock farming. The hydrocarbons and air pollutants sit in the atmosphere where they absorb sunlight and solar radiation. This impacts on weather patterns to cause flooding, drought, and extreme hot weather, which destroys homes and increases displacement. It dries up rivers and also causes water pollution. It reduces crop yield and productivity of livestock, leading to poverty and malnutrition. It increases heat stroke and spread of diseases that include malaria. Interventions include awareness and sensitization, adoption of renewable energies for more energy efficient devices, promotion of public transportation, efficient use of natural resources and tree planting, responsible recycling to deal with waste. These would in turn promote behavioral changes, reduce CO2, hydrocarbons, and greenhouse gas emissions, as well as improve sustainability of livelihood and livestock. Thank you.
All right. So I guess that does it. It gives us the whole presentation. All right. And I believe that without even listening to it twice, you realize that your group members have to really be advanced in technology, infographics, and they also video in to be able to fix it together. But I can bet you, even if you know not, I know that most of you can just Google it and be able to find out how it is done and do it better. If I'm a judge and I'm looking at this, how do I criticize this work? It's wonderful, it's beautiful, but I'm thinking her picture is bigger than what she's showing. So the picture could have been a little small, maybe. What else could her background, I could see something at the background that could also be better with some cable wire going through. The background could be better than that. What else? It's just nice. And I can't tell you whether they won or not, but I can tell you they were placed in a better position. Very comfortable.
I am Jean.
So remember, this is your moment and this is your time. And this is exactly your work. And then you will be able to make a presentation where every part of your presentation skills will be tested. How you put your work together. What is the theme of your poster? The work organizations, where you're able to really get it to organize it so very well that everything is in place at the right time, everything is just on point. Do we ensure and do we have the clarity of the poster and anybody from a distance could see what you're talking about? Is it original? Or is the business as usual? A very lazy way of thinking and then chosen, and then it is too common that it doesn't add to it. That will be the rubric in which you'll be graded. Is it going to be good? Is it going to be bad? And it goes to the B. But I think even is as better and best, and we require nothing by the best. So I'm going to exit now and come back to you for us to have a discussions, questions and answers, and things that you want to ensure. So when you go to your group, you can be very instrumental for your group members, and you can explain to them even if they mess up a few points. And as I said, I saw Alaji Bed was writing almost everything. And some of you, I said, have your papers and pen, and you have done so. So again, let me remind you, from the 7th to the 31st is a critical moment, as your presentation will be on 31st, exactly 2 p.m. in March. Don't forget that. And the day, as we all ensure, was on Friday. Is that correct? Thank you. Questions and answers. Your hand can go up and then you can go ahead. Eva, please take the first shot.
Hello, Dr. Brenya. Thank you for your presentation. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon to the Yali team. My name is Eva and I'm from Ghana. Doc, please, I lost you at a point due to network challenges. So forgive me if I'm asking a question on an issue you've spoken about already. So I realized that you mentioned something on a 1-minute poster presentation video. And then per the samples you gave, there was one that had a video in it. So I'm just wondering what the duration for the presentation is. Is it a case that it is actually a 1-minute presentation, or the video aspect is another element of it? I just need clarification in that area. And if indeed is a 1-minute presentation, I'm wondering how we would be able to translate that effectively, because based on the presentation you showed, sincerely, even though I could hear the sound, I couldn't grasp what she was saying. So of course, it looks like she was being timed, so everything had to flow. At the point you mentioned that we need to include some authorities depending on the issues we are speaking about. So I'm just wondering if indeed it's a 1 minute presentation, how are we going to infuse all of these details to be able to come up with a good work? Because we may have a good poster looking beautiful, but the time limits may prevent us from actually expressing ourselves well. So please just clarify this for me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Eva, I want to share with you, when you come to Yali, one of the things we call it the 1 minute point. You can't speak more than a minute. Whether you are contributing or asking a question, it has to be within a minute. And this 1 minute is a 1 minute critical. So, by the way, the video is 1 minute. She was able to say what she has to say. The group emerged one of the highest. So the time allocated is 1 minute, and that 1 minute is the presentation. But a lot of work needs to go on behind the scene before you can actually make your presentation with it. So yes, the video is the presentation, and then that presentation lasts for 60 seconds, and within 60 seconds where you have to put your idea. But don't worry, you still have your concept note, which is 1 pager. You can be more explicit on that, but poster presentation is spot on. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, Dr.
You're welcome, Eva. And I think I've seen here, is it Omar? Omar, please go ahead.
Yeah, hello, doctor. I hope you're all well. So I basically wanted to ask if a presentation, a poster presentation would basically have references or not.
Omar, I bet you if I start answering, I wouldn't know what I'm answering. I didn't hear what you said, honestly.
So I said, are we going to have references to our work?
Are you going to have the
references? I mean, are we going to have references?
Okay.
He's asking if there should be references.
If you, if you're going to have references. No, I mean, you know, when you come to your concept note and you quote any figures, it's prudent that when you have done so, you can actually put the reference where the source is. I think it's necessary. I mentioned that in the presentation, yes. But in terms of putting the pictorial presentation, you don't need. But if a judge asks you, where did you get this from? You should be able to provide that as well. Thank you. Alhaj, over to you.
Good afternoon, Doc. Thank you very much for our wonderful presentation. My question is, why wait till the 27 to put us into group? Why not put us into group now? Because some of us, when it comes to technology, some of us are far behind. Why not put us into groups now? So at least we'll be, discussing with our group members onto that time. But you will wait from the 27th to the 31st, and maybe it will push us into a rush. Even though we are leaders, we should be prepared for that. But I think if it is early, it will be good for us to do something that is unique. Thank you very much.
You are welcome, Alhaji. Your point is well taken. And I strongly think that, yes, it is for your grouping, you can have it early. And if you decide you can spend some time working on it, that is fine. But we just have a period for you where at that time, the intensity of getting into your preparation and finishing your work is done. But yes, you actually will know your grouping. You have your grouping for simulation, but you should have your grouping for poster presentation first. So surely you will have that. And then you can work with your team, and then you can even find out each of the team members will share their profile. By just reading their profile, you'll be able to know what you can rely on them for them to be able to accomplish and who can do what. All these, of course, you can work on that before the actual time setting for you to start putting things together. Thank you so very much. So let me go to, is it? I'm trying to get the name. Is it Tornado? Yes, sir. So if you can pick it up and then help me with your name. Eli.
Eli.
Or Eli. Yes, Eli. Yes, please. Go ahead.
Tonjuru.
Yes, thank you very much. I hope I'm audible.
Except that you are using a handpiece and it's really giving us a feedback that is killing our ears. So if you can hold it.
It should be better now.
It is.
Yes. My name is Ali. I'm from Ghana. I saw that some of the photos, or I presume that some of the photos that people may have used are from the internet. These are other people's works. So I'm just asking about copyright issues, what we are allowed to use and what we are not allowed to use. Thank you very much.
I like the question you have put across very well. Recently, I had a meeting with GIZ, and then they have a signing in document going on that you agree that your picture can be used anytime, anywhere. And I was wondering, it took almost 30 minutes for people to endorse and agree that, yes, you can take my pictures and you can show it as whatever. So I guess the issue of these, sometimes there are legalities as well. So if you have to seek permission before you use any picture, it will be your responsibility as a group to do so. If you have to create your own photograph, it's your responsibility as a group to give that shot. So I leave that for you. But yes, these are leaders. Do what is right. Make sure that there's no unethical issues in what you present that you're not supposed to present. Thank you very much. Susan, over to you.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. And thank you for the wonderful presentation, though I was a little lost at a point. With the 1 minute presentation with the posters, the presentation was very swift within the 60 seconds. By you doing the your presentation, you commented on a poster that was it positioned well, where the posters, as in the images, were they positioned well. So I want to ask, if you have your presentation perfectly delivered, but then your posters were not positioned as it has to be, would that also affect the whole presentation as a whole?
Not necessary, but you lose mass on the organization. Remember, we talk about the organization, how you organize the flow as well. But I mean, of course, yes, answer your, you know, sometimes you can wow people with your presentation, they overlook the rest of the things, isn't it? So it depends on how you come across. But if your presentation is not that good, your posters are also ill-arranged, then get some of the judges very furious, and then you lose marks significantly. Okay. Alaji, I'm not too sure. Is that the old hand or the new hand? It's still showing. Alaji Ba? That's the old sign. Okay, you're taking it off. Wonderful. I didn't do a bad job. It looks like the hands are very few. Okay. Is there any other person? Okay, I think I'll go over here and I see Gildas. Yeah, Gildas, you want to give a shot? Is your hand up? Or you are waving? I'm not too sure what is it. If it's your hand up, please, you're free to go. Gildas. Okay. All right. So if all it's fine and everybody is spot on, then I think we can move on to the simulation. And a few questions coming in. Okay, doesn't look like it. Okay, so I have one hand here. Okay, and that is it Prince Ellie? Please go ahead. Prince Ali, please, you have the floor if you want to. If not, then I can move on to Dawu. So Dawu and Prince Ali, any of you can pick it up, please.
Hello?
Yes, sir, go ahead.
How are you? Thank
Very
you for
well.
the presentation. I want to know how you're going to select the group.
Okay, good. Let me address that as you mute yourself for me. Yeah, mute yourself for me, then I can address it, please. Thank you. The group selections will be done from the RSC office, and it is done randomly. So it means if you are from Nigeria, you're not going to have all Nigerians together. If you are from the Gambia, you're not going to have Gambians or Ghanaians. So it's quite selected, mixed randomly. And then you have a package in a mix of almost everybody together. And then you have to work with your team, whether you like them or they don't like you, whichever way, you need to produce results. So it's an interesting one. And we believe that that is a starting point of leadership, being able to control what is insufficient and insignificant, but you have to produce the best results without giving excuses. Thank you. All right. The next
So
person
we have Bright. We have Bright.
Right. Okay. Right. Okay. Please go ahead, Bright.
All right. Thank you so much for the chance. I'm Bright from Ghana. Hello.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Bright.
Yes, please. I was a bit late in joining the session, so I don't know if the questions I'm about to ask has been addressed already. The first one is about the component given from the explanations you've given so far. It means that we have to follow the 5 components of the poster presentation. That is the theme, the causes, the effect, the expected outcome, and the interventions. With the cover, I mean, the members of the group that we are to add, it means that it's going to be 6 components. Is it necessary that we use just a page poster and infographics to present, or somebody can try to break it down as in slide form to make it like 5 slides or 6 or kind of? That is the first question. And the second one is, how will the group be formed? I mean, the grouping, how will it be formed? And if any criteria will be there for it to be formed, I want to suggest that it is done as early as possible so that we can implement all technological tools to make our work a good one, to stand out. But my emphasis is on the first question, that is using a slide or a
Thank
still
you
poster.
very much.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm still sticking you to the 1-minute questions and answers. So let's adapt to that practice from each of the tracks that you go through. Let everything be snappy. When you do that, then we have enough time to tackle other issues. Let me quickly answer the last. I think the last is just what I answered before, Bright, you asked. Yeah, RAC will look at backgrounds, and I believe all of you, they have their profile. You have your profile. So they will look at the backgrounds and start putting teams together. But when you get your team, that's the team you'll be working with. And if there is any kind of IT package or anything that you need to be able to brush yourself, you have enough time for you to really go through it. I know somebody who learned infographic for 3 days and now the person is even expert. So yes, so you need to work on that. On the second part of what you asked, no and no and no. It is only one slide if it is a PowerPoint. If you do infographic and within the 1 minute, you are able to flow it like the way she did in her presentation. Remember, one came, another one came, but before she started, everything was all in your eyes. So you're just moving things around. If you're able to do that, then that is magic. But we are not looking for a PowerPoint of 12 slides. Nope. One slide with the flow, the chart flow that we have given. That is what is required for us to make sense within a short form of just looking at a glance. Thank you very much.
Well understood.
Thank you, Bright. Good. Eva, you are back again? Oh, this is the old one.
No, please, it's a new hand, Doc. Doc, please, I think Bright even asked my question, but you didn't answer it. I was going to ask on the group list. Are we including that on the concept note, or is a different slide on its own?
When you say the group list, I'm lost.
Yeah, you mentioned that we should have the names of the group members as well as the photographs attached. So should that be separate?
That will be the second slide. I did mention the slide is your poster presentation. The second slide can have the photos, the stamped photos with people's names underneath it.
And the last is the concept note.
No, the concept note is a written concept note. It's one pager. One pager. Okay. It's not a PowerPoint.
Oh,
it's one
right. Right.
Yeah, it's a word one pager, and that's why I said that if there's any kind of references that you have done and that you want to put there, then you can actually put your source as well. So that
Very
is
well.
it, one pager.
Very well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. Is it Prince Lee? Maybe I'm not getting the name right, but I did call you a couple of times. Your hand is still up, but you're not saying anything. So if you are there, please, can you speak? You can't. You can't. Okay, that's fine. Right, is it a question again or is it the first one?
Yes, please. A question again.
Please go on.
Yes, I want to ask about the referencing, that is sources of information that we've gotten for the work. Is there any way you can do it such that for the slide, one page poster presentation for each of the aspects? For instance, if we are dealing with the first part, which is the problem or the theme, the image that we've used, can you just indicate the source of the image just under that particular concept before moving to the other one, or we have to create a different page to indicate the referencing?
Let me come in here to address. I don't think we should confuse the two. Your poster presentation and the pictorial presentation, which is a poster presentation, stay at one point. If at any of the pictures that you have used, you want to be able to give credit where you got it, it can be just underneath the pictures. When you come to the concept note, it's a write-up. Your concept note is a write-up. You need to give us a write-up of your concept behind your poster presentation. So these are the two dimensions we are looking. Then I'm just saying that if there is any source or reference that you have done so far as maybe your research it is concerned, then you might want to be able to provide that on the one pager concept note. I hope it is okay now, right?
Very, very, very clear, sir.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Onan, over to you, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Okay, it is about the group of people that will be on the group. I just need to know how many people will be on this group, the group of assignment.
Yeah.
And next to that, I also need to know for people who are not in the same country. You have just said that maybe you will take some people who are from Gambia or Nigeria or Ivory Coast, and they will be in the same group. So I just need to know how this can be possible, and how are we gonna do to make this possible?
Thank you. Thank you very much, Conan. To start with, when you are in different countries, that is even the beauty of it. Everything is online, and this code 42 is online. So this online means that you're going to be able to talk a lot. I even noticed that WhatsApp has created something that makes it easier for you to connect everybody as well. Though I think it's getting there, it's not on the spot. But yes, you need to be able to use online to be able to talk, agree to disagree. And then once you have somebody represent you as the leader, he can share the job for everybody else. And when they do their various research, you come together, everybody present. When the person is presenting the research they have given to them, you will be able to even tell when this person can even present on our behalf on the day that the presentation have to be done. All these are very critical things. So the beauty of it is just getting everybody to present and giving somebody a work to do. It helps. Have I tried to answer the question?
Yes.
And then you were also asking about the numbers. The numbers as to, it will come. Whether you are 5 in a group, 10 in a group, 6 in a group, 12 in a group, depending on the total number that have signed on and have been accepted onto the cohort 42. So, I mean, you will get to know your people, you know their background, and then you interact with them. And then you can create your own page.
But
yes, sir.
Okay, no problem. But are we going to receive the group members by email, or
yeah,
the notification will be sent?
You have a page, so they will put it on the page so you will know. Okay.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, so keep on monitoring, because you see most of the information where you pick it from, and as long as you have signed up for this course, I just want to encourage everybody. It is important for you to take notice the information they put on so you can read it through. Many a times I realize that people don't really bother to read at all. But Cohort 42, you are special people. You are the people that this continent has come out from COVID, and recovery is taking place, and it has created a lot of opportunities. And because you are special people online, you will do a great job. Read every piece of information. And that saying that African man don't read should not be a statement to any of you who have signed up. Read and read and read, so that you really will ask questions when you do read. And that is all the continent needs to move on from where we are. So let me just take two more, and then I'll be going into the simulation for us to talk about that briefly. Okay, is it check or click? Over to you, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, everybody.
Yes,
so, Professor, I have a question. It's about the one slide on the PowerPoint. As we can do like Mrs. Jean with a video, do we have a size limitation, like 10 mega or 100 mega for the one slide? Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I believe that David from the RAC, you can give me a question, answer to this one. I asked it, I posed it as a question at the beginning, and then he has also actually reiterated it. David, the size is very critical. 1 minute can be a load, 1 minute can be easily accessible and open. So I guess the range of the size is very important. Surely you will get that information, and thank you for bringing it up. I like that. Okay, so
thank you, sir.
Yes, you are welcome, sir. You're very welcome. Once again, so I guess we're done with the poster presentations and everything that comes with it, and questions and answers has been explained. I would like to, you have behaved very well online today. And I know for sure going forward is really going to be one of the greatest sessions. One of the things I would like to share with you before I go to the simulation is that when you have opportunity and you have been asked to ask a question, do not say, I would like to ask a question. Whether it's a question or a comment, start talking. Everything within a minute, as I said. And try to go straight to the point. It helps a lot. It allows the facilitator to add more information. It also allows your colleagues, participants to have opportunity to ask more questions because there's more time. So I just want to share with you. And I feel free to, any of us who present, you can even call us by our first name to shorten it. If you want to call me Pascal or Dr. Pascal, it's fine. You don't need to pronounce the entire full name and let the question flow. And once I'm facilitating, and any of our facilitators are like that as well, once your hand goes up and the person gives you the audience, you can say hi and then ask your question is acceptable. Right. So just to let you know that we can pick up that speed when we are asking questions. And if you forget, you can write it down so that at least you even read it out. If you think that your background is not good enough to show your photograph, you don't have to. Okay. In many cases, except the day of presentation, of course, you know, but if you feel your audio is also going to be distractive, you can put it in a chat room and alert the facilitator to be able to check it and read it out. So this is a few tips, and I believe you have gone through all these already. I'm just reiterating it so that for emphasis, repetition. All right. So give me opportunity to give you a bit of rundown on simulation. I enjoy it.
Dr. Pascal.
Yes. Please.
Sorry. I liked your last point because there's some questions on the chat box. So you might want to look at those, please.
No, could I get you to look at them for us all so that we go, if you don't mind?
Sure. I'm using my phone, but that's
oh no, then your phone bit will be quite distracting because you will see.
Yeah, it's a little, yeah.
Let me see. I've seen it here, but I think I've seen it here. What I'm gonna do is pull my chair a little back because I'm a stubborn, and the doctor said I should use my glasses, which I don't use. So sorry, I've seen this one, and this is coming from is it James? Yes, I think it's James. Sorry, I joined the internet issues, so you join late, you are writing the concept note individually or as a group. As a group, James, as a group. As a group, I presume is based on the explanation given. Okay, I think it's Bright. Bright even answered the question for you on the chat room as well. Okay, and then another person also posed something there, and I think this also came from Adio Adisawa. Okay, Adisawa, and then thank you for your feedback. So all assignment into bracket concept note and poster are group work. Yes, please. And I think Bright also answered that as yes. It is a yes question. Have I missed anything out? Let me scroll and see if I missed anything out. So far, I think that is what is on, except what was on from the beginning. And I think greetings from Ghana and all that. It is okay. But you see, in order we're going to use that particular place to pick up your questions and answers, let's stop the greetings. I think the organizers need to put, and today, for instance, I'll finish so that if you want to do more greeting, I'll finish before the time. So if you want to do more greeting, you can call somebody and greet the person, okay? So let's reserve all the greetings. So we look at the chat room for almost a serious business, you know, or the continent business, okay? The continent business. This continent need more things than greetings. By the way, somebody even said that our greeting is too long. We greet so long. And the person said it's what we call abundance theory. It means that we have plenty of time to greet and greet and greet. And I attended a meeting recently and we got to one tribe in Ghana to greet. I can tell you 5 minutes, the greeting has not finished. African can greet. We have so much time. And regardless of your track, I want to advise you, if you can be obedient to time, you can do anything on this continent that you can cut the time, you have a business, and it's a diamond gold business that will really make you more prosperous. Anyway, let me come back onto what we're talking about here. So yes, please, does it mean we are to form our own group? No, your group will be formed and assigned. I can imagine a group you want to form, right? You use all your friends and then form a group, as we always do when we are allowed to do that. Okay, so I probably read the comment a bit late, so it looks like these comments and the questions that is being posed, answers has already been given. I see one here that says that please, I joined. I think that one has really been this. Okay, the webinar will be placed on the dashboard. Okay, hello, sir. My question is centered around identifying the problem. Would there be any guide provided for the team in coming up? I think I don't even have to read to the end. We have addressed that. Contemporary issues or observation. These are the critical things. What have you observed? But remember, every single person comes to the table with a problem. A leader should be able to look at your face and tell you, your problem is so very important for this continent. You've done very well, but my sister, in this critical time of this continent, we can't really drop this and concentrate on this. And I give a reason and give a good reasons, and we are all together. So whether your problem that you bring to the table is not taken, whatever you agree as a team is what you drive home to success. So just for you to pay that particular attention. All right, it's really good. We are good to go. We are good to go. We are good to go. That is because yeah, somebody is answering my question, right? That is because we don't greet the greeting sake. We are really concerned about the well-being of one another. And brother, my sister, it could be true, but I tell you, when you greet me and you ask me if I'm well, I will always say I'm very fine, but I'm not fine. How do you know? And sometimes I even ask people, even if I'm not fine, what will you do to help me? You just want to know whether I'm fine or not. So it becomes very ritual. How are you? How is the family? Have you eaten today? How did you wake up today from your bed? Please, are you in a good mood? Where are you going? Would you come back? Oh, how is this one going to turn a business around for you to put money in your pocket? It is just not so much. It doesn't even show. I know a church that greet Yonko Dobiakoye, and it just simply say that we are one together, one love. But I can see people in that church that doesn't show much love either. So sometimes some of these things become rituals. But when you have time to do what you have to do, some other continent, trust me, people, when they greet you, they don't look at your face. It's only my experience on this continent that people will say, I even greeted him, I look at his face and he didn't respond the way I want him to respond. Why did you look at people's face when you greet them? Unless, okay, that is just by the way. That's just by the way. When you greet, the person responds or doesn't respond. Your responsibility to greet. Whether the person will respond or not, it doesn't matter. Just greet. Okay, and I know places that they greet like this. Hi. And this is exactly how it is. Hello. The smile face, and then it goes to the normal face, just like that. This continent, we need all the time to be able to be productive, and we are working there. And I believe you believe that we need to work and get there. Thank you very much. So, I think I've addressed most of the issues on the chat room. So we're gonna come back, and I'm gonna just talk for about a bit less than 10 minutes. I'm gonna share with you about the simulations, and I'll let you ask questions and answers as we go together. All right. Thank you. Okay. Now, okay. Now you see the simulation bit is critical. Doctor, before the simulation, you want to say something, David? Yes. Okay, go ahead, David. The assignment you gave me, I just want to let. Okay, give it to us, please. Okay, so it's actually 60 megabytes. That 60 megabytes of a video will give us a minute. Those of us who are good in graphics, you will need 720 pixels. That is at 30 frames per second. That should give you a minute of a video. Thank you, Doctor. Okay. David, before you go, I'm going to task you to look at something. Could you tell us the megabyte of the video we watch? So if you can check it later and tell us, that will be helpful. So people will know that they can add a bit more than what they have seen as an example. Or because I guess your figures cannot go lower than that. Because if you have accepted one before, then you should accept what they bring. So if you can check that particular one for us, give us a picture of what can go into it. Thank you. Okay, Doctor. I would consult Mr. Jesper. And then see what is on that. Okay, then. Sorry, I put you on spot, but yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we're gonna go on to the simulation. Let's have fun with the simulation. You know, we've seen so many simulation, and some simulation has really been what we called a photo of what is yet to happen, and it happens. How I wish some of our simulation, the nations on this continent will be taking them seriously and sending their delegates to come and witness the simulation, whether online or face to face. A question is given, and you as a group need to be able to stimulate it. But this is a problem. This one, you don't come up with a problem. The problem is given to you. So let's look at one example of simulation question. Democracy on this continent has been a disadvantageous to the continent in terms of how we practice democracy. So you're going to be able to look at this particular question as a simulation question. Or better still, a session of the youth believe that this continent would develop to become a continent that worth living in within their lifetime. It's a question. You need to stimulate it. Your stimulation will have a breakdown to depict what is the current situation on the continent. We might ask you to dramatize that. The first stage of the stimulation is dramatization. You dramatize it, so it's a drama. And then the second phase, we would invite you to a sort of a summit where then you come in to look at the solutions that you strongly believe. Sometimes we ask you to come up with an action plan. And of course, action plan need to have a timelines, you know, and how much it's going to cost and all that you spend money on and everything to be able to then get this resource. And then at what time do you think that this continent change will happen? And what exactly do we have to do to be able to become a developed country? So mostly it is more of stimulating what is really on the ground and being able to profess the better way to get the best you want. At the moment, we are working on to agree on the question. Poster presentations, preparation and presentation will happen before simulation. Simulation is always at the end of the entire cohort. And for that reason, we have a bit of time on our hands, but of course, it's not plenty of time. So once again, you'll be able to get your group and you will get the questions and what the question will require of you. You'll be able to piece it together. And just also remember, your presentation should also have that stamp size with your name and your country. And then also the leaders that will be selected will rate people who were very, very much responsible in terms of their involvement and engagement in the tasks assigned and those who did not participate at all. Now, any of these two very important programs, poster presentation and then stimulation, if you omit any of them, you are likely not to graduate unless your tangible excuse is excusable by the management of the RSC. But just for you to take note that everything else that you are going through, including your track, is very, very necessary for you to be active and be up and contribute to whatever goes on. And when that is done, we can rest assured that the statement I said from the beginning, you have walked in here just as we have all come together, but we're not going to walk away without making a difference and without impacting the community and the people who are around us. And that is the power of being part of the RSC and being part of the cohort 42. So far, this is the stimulation. So the questions will come to you, but you can write this down. This is really very critical. I want you to write some few dates down. So again, from the 3rd of April to the 9th of April will be the moment for the simulation. Now, simulation questions is also delayed for a purpose. We don't want to confuse you with poster presentation. Many times when people say, I'm doing this, no. Let's finish the poster preparation and poster presentation first. And then after that headache is gone, we can concentrate on the simulation. And that is why I said we have the questions and other things will all be given to you at the right time when it is due. So from the 3rd of April to the 9th of April, that will be the moment. So on the 9th will be the time for you to make your stimulation preparation and presentation. So that is where you bring everything to a close, right? On the 9th. So just write those days down for you to know. Okay, so let's have interactions now. Again, I wouldn't want to show you any videos of simulation because I really want you to perform the magic and do something better than what has been done before. And then so that ideas will not be stolen from here, that because you are not the masterpiece, you'll never be able to craft it the way it's supposed to be crafted. So that is about it. My questions and answers, I'm ready here to provide them for you. Over to you. Any questions on the simulation?
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody.
Yeah, hi.
Dr. Pascal, the presentation is very good, but you mentioned with regards to the simulation, you mentioned that it's the first part of it. It has to be dramatized. So I don't understand if how that happened when we are not all together. I just need some clarification so that how would that happen?
Yes. What I said that it just dawned on me that unless this drama is done on a video again, right? You see, the presentation for simulation would also require a video. All right. Okay, you will present a video and you also will present a concept note. Okay, but I'm not rushing you further because we're definitely going to send you a step-by-step of what you engage in. So at the moment, what I'm trying to do is for you to get an idea on how this stimulation, but in terms of the proper questioning and then what is required of each of the grouping, I will pen that, we will write it and we'll give it to you ahead of time and you will be able to follow up like that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Okay, so I've seen I said that right? Hey, was that not correct? Oh, Asiba. Is it Asaba? Saba, please go ahead. Asaba, are you there or your hand is up? If not, let me move on to, is it Najeli or Najeli?
I'm saying that for the simulation exercise, is it going to be grouping or individually?
It's a group. It's a group. Thank you. Najeli, please go ahead.
It's on Ajite.
Najeli, okay. Thank you.
Since for the poster presentation, we have supposed to have a leader to do the presentation.
Is there any way at all you can amplify your voice a bit?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Loud and clear. Very. Go ahead.
What I'm trying to say is, if for the poster presentation we are using just one person, a leader, the simulation, are we, because it's online and some of us, this is the first time we're having courses online, you know, it's new to us, but we're trying to see how we can cope with it. For the simulation, the drama part, is it one person drama, or that was what I'm trying to say is, can you not show us a video of what has been done before so we have an idea? Because it's confusing. Are we going to act together and put it as a video, or is it just one person?
Thank you very much. The question is heard. Thank you. Okay, so once again, take the drama out of the simulation, okay? You would have to make a presentation on the question queue we give to you so far as the simulation is concerned, and then the guidelines on what we will be required from you online to be able to comfortably do and make sure that you present will be given to you for us to have a good work. So for now, let me just drop the drama part and then let's concentrate on the rest. But Jasper's hand is up. So let me go to Jasper and then I'll take the rest. I think he wants to give more clarification on that. Jasper, please go on.
Dr. Pascal, I just want to make a point here. This program, actually, one of the key or hallmark of this program is creativity. We don't think problem, we think about solution. And one of the things that, unfortunately, that it is becoming unbecoming with young people is that we don't want to extend or stretch our mind too much. We just want to copy whatever is in existence already. Other people who went through this program, they've done this before. So if they ask you that you should do something, just go and find out how this could be done. Because you don't know tomorrow, your organization may ask you to do something of the sort. For the fact that you have not done it before, it doesn't mean that it has not been done before. So one thing I have to encourage us to do over here is that this program will stretch you. by the time we finish on this program, you realize that it's not going to be like any other online training that you go and then you can just be a dormant participant and then you go through. Everybody, one way or the other, will be found out and you'll be assigned to do a work. Your own colleagues will put pressure on you because they have to meet deadlines, which are very tight. So at the end of the day, we are teaching people how they can work under pressure, how they can actually lead without being too much giving that kind of guide, how they can lead themselves and lead others, and then also how they can work with different diversity in terms of cultural dynamics, and then also relatability with people that maybe they may find out that they are not similar to them in terms of their personality trait. And all these things will mold them out as the 21st century leader that we want them to exhibit. And that is the only thing that is going to bring them to a point that they will initiate the change that we want them to get involved in. If not, it's just the status quo. So that's what I want to add. Thank you.
Thank you for that input, Jasper. It helps a lot. It helps a lot. Thank you so very much. Let me go to, is it Sheko? Sheko?
Yes, sir.
Doctor. Yes, sir.
Yes, doctor. There was a question which I forgot, but let me just.
You have
with regards
forgotten.
to the poster presentation. Yeah. No, but okay. It's with regards to the poster presentation.
Okay.
The concept notes. I don't know if the concept notes and the poster presentation, will the concept notes be on the poster together, or the poster will be separate from the concept note? Because I know the concept note is about the problem, talking about the problem, a brief, and after that you talk about the poster. So I don't know if the concept note and the poster will be on the same slide.
Okay. No, not on the same slide. One of them is like writing a letter to a girlfriend. The one of them is a Word document for 1 page. Okay. And then the other one is other infographic or PowerPoint, which is 1 slide. And then there's additional slide that give the picture of your people and their names and where they come from. So yes, it's separated. Is that okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So let me go to Gildas. Yeah. Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Doctor. I would like to know regards to the simulations, the time interval. Maybe it escaped my mind or you said it earlier, but I want to know the time length. Thank you.
Okay, good. We have a presentation of 7 minutes if it hasn't changed. Okay, so if it goes to 5 minutes for you to, so it's definitely, simulation is not going to restrict you to 1 minute, different from poster presentation. Once again, if there's any changes at all, I'll get back to you with a write-up and it will give a clear information. But thank you for drawing my attention to that, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You are welcome, Stock. You're welcome. And then let me go to Alhaji. Alhaji, talk to me.
Thank you, Doc. I just have a short question. Will the one group be there for the 2 exercises, or there will be different group for the stimulation and of course different group for the poster presentation? That is what I want to know, Doc.
Very good question. Different groups. We'll not use the same group for this and for that. No, we want you to learn from each other as much as possible and be very interactive to each other as well. So that reason, it means that yes, one time you have people from here, but you mix together and you get to know each other. I've always said it that if I lived Accra today and I get myself into Lagos, I want to see 5 people fighting who want to accommodate me in their country. If you attend Yali online for this number of days and you cannot connect with friends wherever they come from, and the only people you know is from your own country, that's a disaster. So we need to connect more and work with each other so we get to understand each other's problems and be able to work together. This continent can only see the light of the day when we work together. And that is the genesis of this. And I believe that Yali have given us the light for us to follow through. Thank you.
Like it said, your network is your network.
Yeah.
That is good. Thank you very much. We'll do
All right, Alhaj. Thank you, Alhaj. Thank you very much. And I think, is it Stephen? Stephen or Stefan?
Yes, thank you very much, Doc. And I have a comment. The comment I'm making is with regards to the simulation. And I think it's pretty much an easy solution for the worries which most of us will be having, because a simulation is just like a particular body. So it's just like an infographic too, which we can make in order to bring out the idea, presenting a solution for a problem for. I think I've done one in the past which brought about the aspect of menstrual hygiene health for female in May last year, 2020, in that regard.
Good, good, awesome, awesome. So your team will be happy you joined, right? That's good. The time will come, definitely. Good. I don't seem to see any hands here. Right, this has gone well. Understanding is grabbed, and this is recorded, so you can go back and listen to it. And I believe looking at your stamp size pictures is very wonderful. This cohort has got some beautiful ladies and gentlemen, handsome men and women together. This is going to be a beautiful, beautiful, wonderful cohort. And I'm glad you are here as well. So what is the time now? It's 39, right? So what do we do now? I can just start giving my closing statement. Unless there's any question, then I'll pick it up. Other than that, I'll leave you with a message quickly. And let me just water down for any questions, any clarification. Okay. Kunte, please, over to you.
To slides from WhatsApp from the slides.
You may have to come again because I didn't hear what you said, sir.
I said don't forget to send the slides on the WhatsApp form.
Is it possible to type it for me so that I know what you are saying? It's still not.
Yeah, Doc, I think he's trying to tell you to send the slides of the presentation to our WhatsApp group.
What slides?
It has been sent. It has been sent already.
Okay.
The slides are on there.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. All right then. Okay. Okay. Good. Good. Thank you. All right. Thank you. I hope the slides is not just going to look at the slides, because I have a typical student sometimes. Oh, save it on my pen drive for me. I want it on my pen drive. Please give me the information. Anytime you do training, can I get it on my PowerPoint? You give it to them and they have the PowerPoint. They have it on the pen drive, and the pen drive is hanging on their neck. And then the program will finish. They go home. They will never even open it. Yeah. I like it. You're smiling, but that's true, isn't it? I give it to us on PowerPoint. I'm even surprised just by answer that, because I would have said that, well, now you don't need it, because what some people is going to sit down to copy African, copycat. We cannot be copying cutting, eh? By the way, unless you are copying the right cut, then there's something wrong with it. That's good. Is it Amanda? Amanda, how are you?
I'm fine, Doc.
Okay. Where are you logging in from?
Logging in from Accra, Ghana.
Oh, okay. All right. And what do you do for a living?
Currently, having my national service.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I completed tertiary last year, so I'm having my mandatory national service this year.
Great. I think the Nigerians call it the youth service.
Yes.
Wonderful. Keep on keeping. Which of the tracks have you signed on to be part of?
That's civic leadership.
Wonderful, wonderful. A good choice. All of them is really wonderful. Thank you so much, Amanda. And hopefully today's presentation and understanding has gone on well, right? You're good enough.
I logged on a bit late, so I'll just catch up with the slides on the page.
I like that. I like that. And I think that goes for the rest of the people as well. If you log in late, some of the questions, try not to take us too back, but it's good that you get to know anyway. But yes, so Amanda, yes, that's a good thing to do. You can go back again and watch from where we started with that you, and then pick it up from there. Nice talking to you. We wish you all the best, okay?
Okay, thank you, Doug.
You are welcome. All right, so without any hands up, I'm going to finish by providing a few information, okay? And I want to finish with a simple statement that goes like this. Focus when you are focused. In this world, whatever happens, you're going to have a lot of distractions. You will be distracted. There will be impediment on your way. It will not go that straight. Many times I've agreed, and I even say it this way. Sometimes it feels like the only mistakes you have made in your entire life is being born on this continent. But that is not a mistake. The continent needs you to make the necessary change. The generation who will come after you will look at you and ask, did you prepare the place for us? Because many of us, we need to fight the race of our grandparents. And some of us, the way our parents are going, we realize that they will not finish their race. We need to help them out. So when you are born on this continent, you need to fight the race of your grandparents, fight the race of your own parents before you fight yours. And it's not only yours, your family and the children that you give birth to. So sometimes when we talk about mental health, this continent even challenges us and prepares us to be mentally fortified, whether we like it or not. You are not different where you find yourself today. When I started off, I felt it's a disaster. But as the days go by, there's one thing I said to myself, focus. If I don't want certain situation, I got to change it. If it is not good enough, I'm not going to settle for it. I didn't have enough support, yes, but look, I connected with the right people. And sometimes it's just one connection that will just change your destiny. Who is there for you? Focus. The Pareto principle put it this way: when you are focused, you only require 20% energy and hard work to achieve 80% results. And the opposite is true. What is wearing you down? Are you focused enough? Do you have the energy and the drive? Or at the moment you are discouraged, you have signed up to a program that will challenge you and question the way you do things. Business as usual is the past. You're going to be able to challenge the status quo. Continent is counting on you and only you to make a difference. And all said and done, would you be able to say, I came and I conquered? A story that is very profound is what I leave with today. And this story is told of a young poor boy who sat at the entrance of a big building. People pass by. Anybody who passed by would drop a few coins. And there was a signboard that says that I'm a young boy and I'm blind, I cannot see. One day, a young man walked over there, pick up that signboard, hand it over, and he wrote something on it. When he put the sign there, that very day, the young boy received the full pile of money. He emptied it about 3-4 times. So he was wondering what happened today. But the smart young boy who is a blind person could notice the footsteps as people pass by. So that evening, the person who changed the sign came by. And then the young boy asked, are you the one who changed my sign this morning? And he said, yes, I am the one. And he said, what did you write? And he said, I wrote the same thing you have written, but in a different way. I said, today is a beautiful day, but unfortunately, I'm blind and I cannot see. The boy only said, thank you so much. Are you surprised that the sign has made a lot of difference? We can complain and will be justifiable. Our parents has been a disaster and sometimes disappointment. Our leaders on this continent have failed us terribly. Sometimes we engage in too much talking and arguing, not even accepting some mistakes and adding up to the problems. But we can't keep on like that. You have somebody out there, you need to change the person's signboard. What would you write? I want you to ponder over this as I leave you until your next session and your session with me when we meet again. You have to change somebody's signboard. Regardless of whatever you have got, somebody else is counting on you. And I can finish by giving you my own personal testimony. I used to pray to God and ask for so many things. Buying a car, a house, marrying a beautiful girl with beautiful children, finishing my education. One day on my knees, when I rant all this to God, instead of getting up, I couldn't get up. And I heard a voice saying to me, instead of lamenting to God and asking for all these things, haven't you become a selfish piece of a person? Why don't you ask God as you walk out there, regardless of the fact that your cup is not full up, to see somebody who is in need better than you and stretch your hand to help that person? You could be a blessing to somebody today. So help God to help you to identify the person. From that very day, my prayers for myself is very minimal. I have people I pray for, I have people that I sometimes it's fate, but indeed, I have the supporting finance to be able to do that. We cannot afford to be selfish. These continents need you. We cannot discriminate. Every single human being worth it. Anybody who comes into your way need your attention. Help the person the best way. But remember, you can only give what you have. Now you have what it takes to go and make a difference. Change somebody's signboard. I want to leave you with these messages and thank you so much for your time. God bless you. Allah bless you. Until we meet again, have a very good evening wherever you are. Bye for now and thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, doctor.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank
Thank you,
so much,
Dr.
Dr.
Brignon.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Dr. Doc. Are
Thank
you on any
you,
of these
Doctor. We
social
really made
media?
our day. It's very inspiring.
Doc, are you gone? Are you there?
Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you. God bless you.
Oh
Thank
my
you,
God. Doc,
doctor.
Doc, are you still there?
I'm still here. Yes, sir. My brother, I'm
Doc,
still
are you
here.
on any of these social media platforms like Facebook, YouTube?
You,
Do you have a channel that we can?
when you Google, you can find me. Just Google Dr. Pascal. You should be able to find me anywhere you want to find me, sir. And let's stay in touch. I'll meet you again, actually. I wish you all the best,
Okay,
guys.
okay, sir.
Thank you
Okay,
very
All
much.
right.
thank you, sir.
Thank you all. Thank you all.
It's good.
Thank you.
You really made our day.